Hi, welcome to Hot and Capable, the channel and the podcast. I believe this is episode 5. I'm just gonna get right into it. How you doing? How you been? I haven't been here for a couple weeks. I've been doing other stuff. Currently, on this day, I am feeling a bit like nothing's going my way. I've been having some issues with wanting to create content, but then there's like some obstacles. But I have the power to, first of all, decide how to react to these obstacles, and I am choosing to today film this episode so I can get at least one thing done. And I'm choosing this morning to try to not let yesterday's struggles affect me today, because I have the power to make this a good day. You know? Oh, so are you gonna film this episode? I don't know if I'm excited or not. I think I am, because today I will be reading my psychiatric hospital journal. I don't remember if I've read this, since I probably have read this through once, right? So that's the plan. I don't know if this is a good idea. I don't think my therapist would be very supportive of me doing this, because last year I did start going through my old journals, because physically I think I had 21 journals from childhood up until now. I'm about to turn 26. That's a lot of physical journals. On top of that, I did stop writing physically probably by 2021 or 2022, and then I moved journaling to a digital form because I can type so much faster than I can write, so that I can get more out of my system journaling when I can do it faster. But yeah, so I started going through those journals in chronological order from childhood. I got to my teens. I got to my 2017 journals, and I did that, and then I think, yeah, maybe it affected me negatively. And then I mentioned that in therapy, and I think my therapist said that maybe it's not a good idea for you to continue going through them right now. And I really don't know if it is now, but I am so curious, because I think I have suppressed the right word. I think my brain has just locked away so much of the pain and struggles of my years. And curious, I'm first of all so happy and grateful, proud of myself that I did journal. The main reason I'm doing this is because I want to understand myself better. Yes, I will have to relive a lot of trauma, and I think it should be fine. I just want to understand myself better, and I think by reading these journals and remembering what I've gone through, it's not going to be a pity party, but I wish that it will just make me feel so much more strong and proud and understanding. And I think it would make me be kinder to myself to relive all that, that trauma, and then be like, oh fuck, well, I made it this far. I got through it all. I did all the work, and now I'm reaping the rewards. So that, I don't know, that's the idea. I will be doing it slowly, I think, in small portions. But so theme theme of this episode, clearly, it's going to be psychiatric hospitals and psychiatric wards. Well, first of all, I kind of want to try to break the stigma around them, because, well, my first visit to a psych ward was when I was 9 years old in 2009. That was by far the most traumatizing experience I had and had for many years after that. It was still that one. I won't get into that much, because that one was actually such. No, I will actually. Okay, hang on. I'll be honest. I'll be truthful. I am happy because I feel like I'm I am going to be able to speak about the good and the bad experiences and memories, from the mind of my best self, if that makes sense. Like, this is not going to be a pity party. I do want to talk about my trauma openly and honestly, but I don't want it to be, I'm not going to be like, this is not going to be a pity party. And so I will be in this episode, I will be talking I will be talking about being suicidal, I will be talking about my experiences in psych wards, I will be talking about deep depression, probably dissociation, all of these things. So if those subjects are sensitive to you, you don't have to watch this, but I will try to make this as like positive and warm and like safe. Like, this will be a safe space. And I'm not trying to, I will not be like dramatic, like this will, I think you should be fine. But if you feel like those subjects really trigger you, then please go, please go do something good with your day. Go treat yourself. And I'll catch you next time. But yeah, I think this is going to be fun. But yeah, so I was put in a psych ward the first time when I was 9 years old. I think I got put on a medicine, my first ever like medicine for mental health issues. And I think, or at least we think, that really messed with my brain. And so one day I tried to kill myself, and then I was put in an ambulance and taken to this hospital, which is like the worst example I could give to you about psych wards, because like the thing, I know I'm jumping around a little bit, but like the thing I want to say, the message I want to deliver is that there are so many psych wards that are there to help you. Because the first one, it was like straight out of a horror movie. I don't think I need to get into the details actually, but like imagine how psychiatric hospitals are portrayed in like horror movies and stuff, and just like anywhere, like Radley in PLL. Like, yes, this one word was like, imagine a psych ward from a horror film. That was it. That's what I went through as a 9-year-old. It was just really bad. But over the years, as I have been put in a psych ward over 10 times in my life, after the 10th time I lost track. So I think let's just say 11 times. I think few too many for one small human, but the last visit started to really like give me the picture that, oh, this is actually helpful. These places are here to help. They are here for a reason. Because after experiencing that horror traumatizing situation when I was a wee child, being put in a psych ward again was the last thing. That was my last thing that I would ever do. The last few times I had learned the lesson that, oh yeah, no, these healthcare professionals are telling me that reaching out to for help and going into a psych ward, that should not be your last thing. Like, you should intervene with yourself earlier until it gets to that point where you think that, oh, this is my absolute last lifeline. That was a huge lesson, and it took me years to learn and to like listen to the professionals saying that this should not be your last thing. Like, you should come earlier. Yeah, that's the message I want to bring forward. It's like, I can obviously only speak about my own experiences. I've been in 2 different hospitals and I think 4 different wards. So I have experience of a few of them. I can only speak, from those experiences, and I know that in some places, I mean, the hospitals, the wards, they are different. But I want to bring forward the message that it's not all bad. It can be a very useful reset and tool for your well-being. Just be hospitalized sometimes, and it's okay. It shouldn't be. Well, I don't think I've actually ever been shamed. I don't think so. I don't think I've ever felt ashamed by like another person that I've been hospitalized in psych wards. So I don't even know why I would think it's a shameful thing, because it's not. It's really not. Those places are there for a reason, and sometimes we just have a reason to go. Well, okay. It is February 2026. The last time I was hospitalized was May of 2023. So in a few months, it'll be 3 years since the last time. Because between 2018 and 2023, that is, I think, where 9 hospitalizations, those nine psych ward visits happened. So I don't think I ever had a year in between. Obviously not. I never had a year in between, and now I have almost 3 years, which you can only imagine how good that feels. I'm so proud of myself. Good job. We're gonna get into this journal now. I was put this time. The other times after this, because I turned 18, obviously I finally agreed to it in the end to go. But this time I was still just 17, and I was going through a really, really, really rough time. I had just moved into this apartment that August, and I was going through the most scary time of my life with my dissociation, and I haven't experienced it in years, so it's really hard for me to it's always been very hard for me to describe how I dissociated, but it was the scariest. Like, I had blackouts. I've been told, and I think this is how I understood it, I was switching personas, so I would black out. It's really, I would be so, I wish I had journal entries from that time. Maybe I do. That's why I want to deep dive into it, dig around, and understand myself better. But I was in a really, really dark, bad place, and we had tried everything. But in the end, my mother made the decision to put me in the teen ward for 2 months. Oh, I'm seeing the ward. I'm seeing my room. I'm actually even smelling how it smelled there. 2 months was a long time. In the end, a couple years after, when we were able to look back, we realized that it was not a helpful experience. It was not maybe the best decision to be made, but I don't blame my mother at all. There was nothing more that she could do, or I could do, or anybody else, all of my healthcare professionals around me could do. I do not blame my mother one bit. Never. But it was not a very helpful experience in the end. This was a random journal my mom gave me. I have a little fox sticker on it, which I got from the ward. They gave us stickers. And then I had this Halloween glow-in-the-dark sticker set. So this is what it looked like on the back. Are we ready? Are we ready to dive back into January 2018? How many years ago was that? 8? It's been 8 years. It's very helpful, really helpful actually, that this is all written in English, so I don't have to translate on the spot. From Finnish. I'm Finnish, by the way. So, okay. I'm kind of excited. A lot of scary shit went down. Also, it was the teen ward, right? I was the only one in there who actually already lived on their own and paid their own bills and had their own debit card and had, bills to pay and stuff. One of the roughest things was that I was stripped down to nothing. I had very limited rights. And as someone who had already lived on their own for a year at this point, it was really hard to go there and be treated like a teenager, even though I was a teenager, but different. Oh my god, okay, let's dive in. So, first page looks like that. On the there are more stickers here. I've saved all the stickers. Okay, first of all, we have a packing list. To the ward we go. This journal plus pencil case. Pencil is written wrong. A shit ton of books plus sports shoes and stuff. loofah, mini speaker, Lush goodies, room spray, and body mists. This also kind of smells a little bit because I had found a way to order Bath and Body Works body sprays from the internet because they don't ship to Finland. So those years I sprayed my journals and everything with them. And those are very nostalgic smells that definitely do take me back in time. I love those. Okay. Phone plus charger, meds, ? Yeah, I don't think I was allowed to bring my own meds. They have, them there. Blanket, hairbrush plus makeup plus R&B. I don't know what that means. Plus makeup remover wipes. That was my packing list. I want to see what this is. How do I open this? I'm very curious. Oh, this is very exciting. This is actually a hockey ticket because they would have these activity days where they would take us, for example, to go like climbing and to the gym and stuff. They tried to obviously get us to go out and about. Some things were mandatory. This was optional. So one of the nurses took me and a couple other kids to a hockey match, and I enjoyed it so much that he was like, let me go ask somebody I know here who works here to get a couple free tickets, because if you feel like it would be good for you to go out, like get a friend and go out, get out and about, And I was like, sure. So he got 2 tickets to a next hockey match, and I called up my friend and I was like, do you want to go with me? And she was like, bet. So cafes were an absolutely like the worst place for my anxiety, and she was like, there's this one place has the best hot chocolate. So we got hot chocolate first, and then we went to the hockey match. I had the best time, and I still have pictures from that day. Maybe I'll actually put up a couple pictures of that day here. We had this system for this day, like if I was feeling anxious, I would text her the turtle emoji. And if I was feeling good, I would text her the dragon emoji. And I think that was just such a cute thing, Wow, I just feel like I've come so far, and that's so great. Anyway, hockey ticket and then some stickers. I have some owls and a bunny and a hedgehog and a little fox. Let me put these back. And that was that. I will never forget that day. It was lovely. The 4th of January, 2018. Well, today I found out I'm going in tomorrow at noon. After the 4 and the meeting, I went to Prisma with Mom and got a few things. Currently I'm doing laundry and just trying to calm down. Mom will come spend the night and we'll have pizza. We're also gonna pack... Shit, this is happening. This has been the longest day ever. It's now the evening and we're getting my shit together. I don't believe this. I remember this night. I feel like I am going back in time. I can relive this. So far, I'm fine. It's good. It's fine. Next day. Well, here I fucking am. As soon as we got here, there was a meeting. It made me really fucking anxious. And then we came to my room, and I had to say goodbye to my mom. She choked up, but I stayed strong. I'm sorry, Mommy. I can't believe I've put my mother through this. Like, I cannot blame myself, because I would have never, if I had the choice, I would have never been this ill, but like, I still feel bad. I put my mom through so much trauma. I had like 10 minutes to unpack, and then it was tea/coffee time. I had to be introduced, and the people seemed chill enough. Somehow I was okay. Am I gonna use people's actual names? I think I'm gonna use people's actual names because there's no reason why not to. Like, why to protect these people, because there's just no connections, and like, so I'm gonna use their real name. This girl, Ada, I think, was nice to me, and we played some Uno, and she taught me how to play pool. I remember this so very vividly. She's 14 and came in yesterday. Apparently I was the first one she talked to here because I seemed nice. Aw. And she also asked me, "You're not shy, are you?" because she was somehow surprised. We went to check out the monitoimitila, which is like a imagine like a gym room, just a big space where you can do a bunch of stuff. And it was all dark and almost all the kids were there. 2 of them were making out in the corner. I remember there was a couple there. How did both of them end up there at the same time? Or did they start dating there? That would make more sense. Anyway, 2 of them were making out in the corner. I got out of there in a little bit because, lol, these fucking teens. Me, a 17-year-old, already, like, done with teens. I fucking can't. I mean, it's really not that bad in here. The adults at least seem cool. The time is just going by so fucking slowly, like it's only 5 p.m. now. Paula, my sister, and dad video called me. I played some more pool with Odd. I've probably spent more time in the common room than in mine, which is surprising. That does sound surprising. Next day, the 6th of January. Well, that's first night done deal with. I showered and then spent the entire evening in the common room. Holy shit, I have her number. I have that girl's number here. Won't be showing that to ya. In the common room, playing pool, watching TV, oh, and also Uno. Then there was this guy called Mira, who we also called Mura. I need to tell you a side story of this. Okay, so this dude, he was the closest to my age, I think. And like a year or 2 after, this is so insane. Like a year or 2 after this, my friend Ida, who was the one who went to the hockey match with me, was at a bar. And there was some sort of conflict there with a guy. And then I later found out that it was this guy. Like, this guy was coming on to her and there was conflict. And then, first of all, that was an insane, like, quinky dink. But then later, I ended up running into him in the city at a festival. And I was like, so you came on to my friend, huh? Insane. That was my side story. Anyway, so this guy and Ada and me stayed up until almost midnight watching the Police Academy and just chatting about random stuff like sex and relationships. I remember this so vividly. And like, I remember the room. I remember the whole space. It was like, should I describe this even? So you came down the hall. To the left, there was this like crisis room, and then there was the office, and then down the hall you come to this big space, which is the living room. There's a couch, there's a TV, there's the dining table and the kitchen, and then there was the pool table, and then down the other hall, there was the bathroom and the rest of the rooms. The first hall also must have had rooms. Yeah. When I went to bed, they had already given me 50 milligrams of just some medicines. I tried to catch sleep. I had the radio on, but I almost instantly, after a few minutes, heard the sounds. This time it was so realistic, almost more than usually. I heard sliding heavy footsteps and keys dangling. I was instantly transported back to school in 7th to 9th grade. It could not have been real footsteps or keys because there was no one outside my door, and I'm positive. It freaked me out so much I went and asked for an actual sleeping pill. Then I cried a little, and the radio even played fucking Millionaire by Bruno Mars, which I listened to on a CD in the crises ward when I was 9 years old. So a couple things. So they stripped me of all of my coping mechanisms when I went in here. One of them being I needed always to have noise, especially when I was trying to go to sleep. Because if I had to go to sleep with nothing, that's when the dissociation would kick in. That's when I was doing the switches. That's when I was like having out-of-body experiences, hearing my noises, feeling things, because I couldn't have my phone. They would take our phones away at 8 p.m. The only noise I could have to prevent me from all of this scary dissociation and stuff was the radio. And only one channel worked during that night. Like every night it played the same playlist to the point where like where I got out of there, I could like list you the whole playlist because I listened to it every night. But this is where I mean like it wasn't a helpful space because they stripped me of all of my coping mechanisms. It was so dumb of them. But yeah, so I was hearing noises. I was hearing sounds that did not exist. And yeah, one of the songs I played on CD when I was 9 in that crises ward, all those songs still transport me back to that fucking place whenever I hear them. But that was like extra cruel. Okay. We had breakfast and lunch, and Ada and I sang some SingStar. It's now noon, and I just put on some daytime clothes. Every day I'm just alone in my room, my heart starts pounding, and I'll eventually get out and go sit in the common room or do something with Ada. If I try to read or watch something on Netflix, every minute or so I get snapped out of it and my whole body flinches as I realize where I am. It's not fun. I have an appointment with the group therapist Tuesday morning. I just want to get the treatments going so I can get the hell out of here. I don't know how the fuck I'm keeping it together. I really don't know. I'm like 90 pages into Illuminae. By the way, I reorganized my bookshelves yesterday, and Illuminae is the big orange book right there. I read a lot of books in there because like what was I supposed to do when they took my phone away at 8 p.m. I've been having a lot of trouble breathing today. I just had an actual anxiety attack and crying fit. This is horrible to deal with when you're forced to. I would fucking walk out of here if I was allowed to, if this wasn't my last hope of recovery. It's now 9 p.m. I returned my phone, or maybe it was at 9, yeah, and I'm gonna read until I fall asleep. Then at 10:15, been 2 hours since I took the meds. I read some, then lied down, shut the lights, and what do you know? A fucking murder scene within the first minute. Yeah, so this is like what I mean. This is really hard to like describe and explain. But like I would hear things, I would see things, and I would feel things that were not there. And the scariest of them were I was like witnessing murder scenes. There was one time when I was like trying to fall asleep. I think it was before this, at its like worst. It's like I get stuck in my body, like I cannot move, but it's like I am observing myself from afar. Or I would just be stuck there witnessing something that my mind like is conjuring. One time there was like 2 women fighting, and like I could hear them fighting. They were fighting, and then one of them threw a knife at the other person, and I felt it slice my stomach. If that like that's the best example I remember. It's like that's what it was like. Anyway, I still tried for a while and then got up and went to ask one of the nurses for that sleeping pill again. But apparently I can't get it before midnight. So what the fuck? I just want to fucking sleep. Next day, I'm fucking pissed. I took the meds at 8 because I wanted to fucking get enough sleep, and then that whole thing happened. I did end up falling asleep after some time, but I was already awake when Maria, the nurse, came to check on us around midnight. She just told me to go back asleep, and I did at some point. I kept falling asleep on and off, but I was awake from 5 to 9. Shit. Pretty much, and it was shit. I'm so fucking pissed off. What happens when they're gonna start taking my phone away at 8? Oh. Maybe this was a weekend? Did we get to keep our phones more, like, longer? I'm so fucking pissed right now. I just want to scream and storm the fuck out of here and go sleep at home. I understand. I understand, buddy. I understand. I still have 5 full days, 5 full nights, and some of Friday before I hopefully get to go to my apartment. Especially the last 2 weeks of my stay there. I didn't spend that much time there because they were trying to, rehabilitate you, obviously, and get you back to your own environment. So I would get to come home for a few days and then go back there. That was kind of like the system. But Monday to Friday, you were always there, and those days went by so. we had our own nurses. I think we had like 2 assigned to us. So Maria was my nurse at this point, I think, and I wanted to talk to her about going home for the weekend. I need that so fucking much. Just a couple of days to be in a safe and familiar apartment and to feel like myself again. I've written here that if I end up writing some sort of story, I'll start on the other end of this journal. Is there something here? What? I've written like prompts and twists. Names, obviously, like, duh, I have to have my lists of names. I've actually written something. What? I need to read this later. What the fuck? I remember doing this. I was sitting on the couch. I was looking up the names and stuff on my phone. There is so much. It just keeps going. Wow, I need to look into that more later. Okay, I think I'm gonna start like skipping around a little bit. Oh, there was a time, because I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian since 2013, and the rest, like the hospital kitchen made a mistake, and I ended up eating a piece of beef. It was really bad. I think I threw up. Oh, so from Monday to Thursdays between 4 p.m. and 5 p.m. they took our phones away, and we had to do stuff like fill out forms or whatever, like admin stuff and stupid stuff. Like, what the fuck, bro? I'm actually in a pretty chill mood because I actually slept, got some fresh air, and the sun is shining. Maybe this will all turn out good. I can handle this. Good girl. So I was exposure therapying myself, so I would intentionally put myself in the common room just to like test my limits and push myself a little bit, I guess, is what I wrote. I've done so fucking much today. I'm only proud. I love myself. There was also, because it's hospital food. Okay, we were served hospital food for 2 months. So there was a cafeteria in the hospital. So a lot of the time I would say I'm going for a walk, and I would actually go eat mozzarella, paninis, and cake in the cafeteria. I did that so many times. What I'm getting from this is that me and my mom's relationship was quite strained at this point, which I understand. It was understandable, and I feel so bad. I feel so bad that I've put her through all this. So then my friend Ida came to visit me after school. She actually came here. It was so great. We went to the cafeteria, drank some battery jungled. That was our drink in my friend group. We all lived in the same village, and we would all go for walks. We would walk to the gas station just to drink jungled batteries and eat chocolate, and then walk back. Those were our walks. So we had some of that. I bought myself some geisha chocolate, and I bought Ada some chocolate as well because of she borrowed me glue. At 8:30, I'm feeling pretty chill. I still got chocolate. I can read, write, listen to the radio. I'm all goody good. Only 2 nights, and then I'll hopefully go home. And right now I'm thinking I'll be alright doing 5 days a week if it means I'll get to go spend the weekend at home. Since I'm doing 7 now, days in a row, 5 should be a lot easier to do in a row, especially because I keep getting used to things. Good. So I was kind of assimilating. Oh, it'll be fine. We're making pizza tomorrow, and my mom's gonna come visit me for a bit because it's her 50th birthday. She might also sneak a Snickers bar in for me. She did. I do remember that. And I baked her blueberry muffins for her birthday. For years, all she had asked for her 50th birthday was to get a ride in a hot air balloon. Instead, she came to visit me in a psych ward first, and then went to another ward in the hospital to visit her husband, who had just had like heart surgery. That was her 50th birthday, and I still feel really bad about that. Ooh, the sleepy time pill they were giving me was giving a really bad taste in my mouth in the morning. Oh, I feel like it went in, and then during the night, like, it would somehow rise, the taste, and no matter what I like ate, the horrible taste was still there. Oh my gosh. We would also have like responsibilities like wiping the tables and cleaning up the kitchen and stuff. They were assigned to us every week, and all the other kids went to school. I didn't because I had finished school already. So I had all those days when they were at school, I would just be chilling in the ward. Mom came over, we went to the cafe, I had some blueberry muffins, watched an episode of Modern Fam on my phone in the hallway, and played some Uno. She'll come pick me up on Friday, and she's now 50, and she snuck in the Snickers. Thank you, Mom. Then there's a little note here. Thanks for the purchase. I hope you like the bookmarks. Happy reading. I don't remember what I ordered here, but this is when I discovered Emma Chamberlain. Very like January, February of 2018 when she was starting to like pop off. And in a whole video, she showed these like patches that she got from Etsy. And obviously, I immediately ordered those patches. I still have them. But that was like fun because I had a debit card. Like I was that much of an adult that I could just like buy shit online all the time, and I did. I'm watching VidCon vlogs by the BookTube squad, and it really makes me miss my friends, but not in a melancholy way. I feel more opportunistic, I guess. I just feel like there are a lot of good times ahead of us, and I hope we'll be spending a lot of time together this summer. Oh fuck, I need a new bike. Yeah, I was feeling, all my life I had like really big FOMO that I think only recently I've gotten over. But yeah, I was watching those vlogs and I was like, okay, we're gonna do stuff together this summer. Just dreaming about all of us turning 18 and having endless opportunities, and we can travel, drink, and stuff. I was also planning on ways to improve and decorate my apartment. Like I was so like wanting to come home. Oh, why is it that I feel anxiety on my left wrist these days? It just gets all tingly the second my anxiety starts taking over. This is also fascinating. And I will talk about this in my like anxiety dedicated episode. It's like how my anxiety symptoms have just like morphed and changed like over the years. This is weird. Oh, okay, no, this I remember. So at a doctor's appointment, because do you guys know Monk? Like MONQ? They're probably still around, but they were these, like, imagine a vape, but it's not vape. It's filled with like aroma therapy, like steam. They were like aromatherapy things, and I had the one that was like for anxiety, which I thought helped me because I had these for a couple of years already. And this is what I mean, like this was one of my coping mechanisms, was my Monk, like inhaling that aromatherapy thing. So at this doctor's appointment, now see, that was all neat and tidy. The new meds, physiotherapy for the knee, all that shit. And then we get to the very last minutes where Ollie, one of my nurses, decides to tell me that I can't have my Monk here. I almost broke down here. But then I asked for the reason. And it was the stupidest and most unfair reason they could have given me. Because it might look like an e-cigarette to the other teens, and we here don't allow any smoking products. And then I've written, Tana Mojo Rage slaps the walls, leans forward, because it might appear like a fucking vape to these underage dipshit kids who actually smoke, and I don't. And now, because of this most unfair reason, they're taking away my non-tobacco product. Wait, red for emphasis, my non-tobacco product. Because the hospital doesn't allow tobacco products. A nurse earlier had told me that they shouldn't be able to deny me the use of this product because the rules don't deny a personal aromatherapy diffuser, which is what it was called, because I shouldn't have fucking told them about it. This is actual bullshit, and even though I understand their point, I'm still bitter about this ban due to its unfairness. I'm so fucking bitter right now, I'm actually laughing a little. I remember losing it. Oh, the rage I felt. I even told them, I was like, I'm not going to use it in the common rooms. I use it in my room. None of the teens are going to ever see me use it. Why can't I fucking have it? I couldn't have it. Of course, I started crying in the meeting and left as soon as I could, storming into my room. And I cried, and I've been in bed watching YouTube and Twitch the whole day because this feels like shit. They're stripping me off from all these ways I've spent years coming up with and personalizing because I've been told to. Every fucking day I get asked, what are my ways of dealing with an anxiety attack, anxiety in general, all the scenes and all the sounds, and the 2 out of 3 most effective ways have been taken away from me here. The third one would be video games, which I'm also not allowed here because I can't have my computers. So all 3 taken straight away. Like, this is the part okay, this is too funny. I do get to have my phone during the day with restrictions, and I will say this. I had like 4 anxiety attacks today, but they stayed minor because I was able to watch Achievement Hunter play GTA 5 all the times, and it distracted me enough and made me laugh, thus getting rid of the anxiety attack. But I wrote, but see, it was a shitty day, but I pulled it together in the end. And now I can go sleep, I'll chill, knowing that this is my last night until I can go home for a bit. Actually, you know what? I am so fucking proud of myself. This has been the second hardest thing I've ever had to do, but I've made it this far. Fuck yeah, I'm awesome. I'm so proud of myself. I forgot that I was actually like being this positive. This is some badass stuff. I mean, if I could handle a psych ward at 9, I can do it at 17. Move, bitch, get out the way. I'm coming through and I'll be better than ever. I did not remember I was being this positive and kind to myself. I'm so proud. Then I got to go home on the 14th of January. I came back. I had a wonderful time back home. I got a rug for my bedroom and a gaming chair. Oh my god, my gaming chair. All these times. And I ate a shit ton of curry noodles. That was my favorite meal. These couple of years was all just curry noodles. Getting here was quite the journey because we broke 2 cars. A tire blew in my great aunt's car, and the gears were fucked up in the car. I don't know. It was just quite a trip to get there. Okay. A couple days later. Okay, so I was anxious the whole day and basically did nothing. I didn't participate in the exercise group because Yami, one of the nurses, told me to give him one legitimate reason. So I told him, and I quote, I have period cramps and I feel like my lower back has been snapped in 2 like a Barbie. He didn't make me participate in the exercise group after that. Yeah, and then he came in later to talk. I didn't want to talk, but he made me, pressured me into it, and then I ended up having like a really bad crying fit, and I remember this. I thought it was just like so fucked up, right? That like I didn't want to talk, and he just made me. Oh, and they would do random room searches, because I think they found in a trash somebody's like, is it called snuff? Like the tobacco product, the little bags that you put under your lip. They found one of those in a trash can in a common room. So then they made a whole search. A lot of people got busted for snuff, extra phones, lighters, etc. While this was happening, I was on the hunt for tissues with my eyes all red and puffy. I had never seen my eyes so red. So like, why the fuck did this man just like push me to that? Because like I clearly suffered, whatever. I was also crying on the floor. Yeah, I was just, after that I just gave up. I was on my floor, starfish, just laying there crying. And then one of the nurses came in and told me to go do my waitress job, which was my responsibility for the day. I started laughing and I whispered, "You can't be serious." He just closed the door and I got up, laughed, started towards the door, then walked back, took a look in the mirror, laughed some more, and got back on the floor. Then my other friend Thea came over and we went out and we had pizza. It was lovely. Pizza after all that hospital food. So good. So good. Then I just talk about all the books I read. Oh, I have a receipt of the pizza. Yeah, and I didn't eat all my pizza, so I like put it in foil and carried it into my room in my pocket so that nobody could take it away from me. And I had some like sneaky pizza for dinner. Oh, we went to the cafe to get some more jungled battery and we just chatted and it was great to catch up. She had actually missed me and told me that she teared up listening to my audio messages from Sunday night because it was so good to hear my voice. Like, this is a true friend right here. I love her. I love her so much. Okay, so I had a hunch that something was gonna go on. So I went to get my phone at 9, but when I was at the office, Yere, one of the patients, storms down the hallway and yells, "Kill yourself." I have no idea who he was yelling to because there was no one else but me. So I think he yelled to me, "Kill yourself." I got my phone and chapstick from my coat pocket, and when I got back to my room, Yere was throwing shit all over his room and yelling he would kill his mom. He had just gotten out of these, like, they would do these, like, treatment meetings or whatever, so he had just gotten out of his, and I guess shit went down there. That whole thing took about 10 to 15 minutes, I guess, and since then it's been really quiet, and I think he got taken somewhere else. Then there was this nurse who was really cool, and I followed her on Instagram for years, and he ended up being my nurse at another place as well later. She was really cool. I really liked her. So she came to check in on me after that. I'm just trying to paint you a little picture of the atmosphere here. So ever since the raid for the snuff, whatever, things have been really tense and quiet in here. Sometimes we're just told to go to our rooms when someone is being given a lecture. And last night, one of the male students, I don't think I meant to write students, but I meant to write nurse. Yuka was like guarding the other hallway of rooms. I remember this. The vibes were off. It's getting real spooky up in here, like I'm getting those actual psych ward feels. Oh, then I wrote like a good couple pages about AJR's The Click album. I was in love with it. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. Hi, son, can you not? So then we figured that this guy, Yere, who yelled, "Kill yourself," probably got sent to Max, aka maximum security, aka locked up ward, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so this kid came back. He was threatened to be sent to a different place, but then told, like, if you behave here, we won't send you. And then it was like, all good. But later that evening, he got all worked up again. Suddenly, there were a lot of guards, and we were told to stay in our rooms. Yeah, so those were the vibes sometimes. Which makes sense, because we were all mentally ill teenagers. Then I made, on a little sticky note, a wish list for books. It's like, oh, more tea. Okay, so 18th of January. All right, I have updates and explanations. So this Muro guy that tried to hit on my friend joined us for breakfast today and told us a nice story about Tuesday night. So when he went out to town, also because we had different statuses. Like some status was like you're not allowed to leave out at all. Some was like you're only allowed to leave with a nurse. And then some of us got to like move freely, right? He went out to town. He got drunk, like 1.6%. What is it? That's really drunk. Like blackouts in the story, drunk. When he got back, he obviously got caught and he got put in a security room with 24-hour surveillance and he got strapped to his bed. He also got himself out of those straps a couple of times. If he had to use the bathroom, they gave him some sort of a container. What the fuck? I mean, holy fuck, the shit he was saying was serious stuff. One of the nurses, for instance, had to work the whole night because of him, because 24-hour surveillance. Plus, there was a security camera in the room as well. So this was in our floor. This was on the other side of the hallway, was this room. This was an insane story. And then we were given a lecture of not doing any mischievous shit and behaving ourselves should be our priority, because the nurses having to like work nights, getting sick, whatever. Like, I understand, like, what the fuck. Then we got a new guy and I was no longer the newbie. So for one of the group activities, one of the nurses gave us like a beauty class type of thing. And it was only just a few of us. I think it was just me and another girl and then two nurses. And Jutta, the one I followed on Instagram, she painted my nails pastel purple. I love that. So there were like good times. Oh my god. I discovered Waving Through a Window. I discovered Dear Evan Hansen. I remember. Oh my goodness. Then I got to go home for the weekend again, and then on the 21st, I feel pretty passive aggressive, but also aggressive. Like if someone were to start something with me, I would go ape shit. I just don't want to be here, man. It sucks that I had anxiety at home last night and that I slept like shit on both nights. I kept waking up and for the first couple of seconds thinking, where the hell am I? Am I the right way around or upside down? I didn't know my own bed or recognize my own room. I'm too used to being here. On one day we went to a cabin, which was fun. It was just me and a couple other kids. Just like get us out of the ward and stuff. And it was Friday, so then they dropped me off here and I got to spend another weekend at home. And my dad actually came to visit me that weekend, so I got to spend it with him. When I came back, I was like trying to sleep, but I was in like a throwing shit mood, thinking about like 4 more weeks. Like I can push on for another 4 weeks, but what about after that? This is what triggered my anxiety last night. Like I still don't see my life turning out better. I don't see myself going back to school and being able to finish that degree. I was studying radio and TV production. I don't see myself ever being able to hold a job. 8 years later, still a big concern. What am I supposed to do with my life? I am so lost. I don't feel lost anymore though. That's good. I feel like even if I cannot be like traditionally employed or whatever at this point of life, I've found other ways to, feel like I'm doing something. Oh, then I was feeling really aggressive, like ready to fight someone. Yo, literally, fuck this shit. I have no future and I'm just speechless. Yeah, that's how I felt for years and years and years and years, but I did have a future, so that's good. Good job, girly pop. No way. My mom came to visit me. My mom also walked me down the hall, which she pushed me down after giving birth to me. Like pushed me like along the hallway when I was born. And there we stood nearly 18 years after. I didn't remember that. I do remember it now. Oh, that's so cute. There was one time when one of my nurses, she needed to go to the corner store to buy cigarettes, but she could not leave on her own during work time. So she asked me like, hey, like, can I take you out for a walk, but we'll just go buy cigarettes. And we did. I did her a solid there. We also, during like meal times and during, when we were all in the common room together, we had some deep conversations, very interesting conversations. One of the guys actually told me that he had a friend who went to the same psych ward, the first one that I went to as a 9-year-old, and he also had horror stories and horror experiences from there. And then I also like tried to Google the hospital, and I did find somebody else as well saying like how it was a really bad place. So that's how I knew that I didn't make up anything. I didn't over exaggerate anything. It was just actually like a horror place. Oh my gosh. Okay, so every time we went home, we would have to fill out one of these. This is like a home treatment agreement, right? So we would have, for me, my agreement was to do laundry and to clean, to go to the store by myself if there's a need, to have a pampering night, so like face mask, dyeing eyebrows, nails, and maybe seeing relatives. So these were what we would like agree to. So some of the songs that were on the radio's playlist were Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas, CeeLo Green's Fuck You, Zayn and Zia's Dusk Till Dawn, and then Justin Bieber's What Do You Mean. We also have whiteboards in our rooms. On my whiteboard in the middle in big letters, I wrote the word resilient, and I told everyone that I'm gonna get that tattooed when I'm 18. There's a backstory to that as well, but like I did it's under here because last year I got it covered up. But yeah, so I had that word there every morning or like every day to remind me that I am indeed resilient. New guys just kept coming in, and I just was thinking like, where the fuck do y'all fit those? Because I think we had 8 or 9 rooms, and there was a lot of us. And then Jutta, the nice nurse, I really formed like a bond with her. She was such an amazing person and just like nurse, and we had amazing talks and everything, but she had to go because she was only there as like a job experience thing as a part of her education. I said that she left me a note on my whiteboard. I almost cried when I saw it. It says, "Stay exactly like you are." And I did not take it off until I left. I'm putting it here for safekeeping, but where is it? I'm sure I saved it. I better have saved it. Maybe I put it somewhere else. There is so much here, like music, bands, like games, content creators, books, everything I've documented here, like everything I consumed during this time. One of them was Kayla's Little Simsy's Disney Princess Legacy Challenge, because I started watching her videos on YouTube in 2016, so I've seen her whole career blossom. That's a whole other thing. But those streams, her Disney Princess Legacy Challenge streams from 2017 and 2018, whenever I think about those, I'm transported here to watching her stream while I plan my own Sims games and saves in a notebook. I just want to play The Sims, drink cappuccino, and lay in my bed watching my bookshelf with the blue lights. I really want to go home. Yeah, it was like I was ready to go home, but at the same time, like, was I rehabilitated enough to actually be able to return home and function? That was the fear. Okay, tea. One time when I went out, I came back a little tipsy. I came home a little bit tipsy, and then we had another one of our common room dining table discussions. One of the girls, her name was Rosa. I never did drugs, okay? I drank a lot as a teenager, but I never did drugs, and I was around people who did drugs. That just confirmed my, I don't want to fuck with that. But these kids were a little bit different. They would do like crazy things to get high, and one of them was she took an apple and bit into it, and then she would sprinkle on it salt, pepper, and hand sanitizer. And she snorted the salt, which went to her tear ducts, and her left eye was burning and all red. So but I remember this so vividly as well. This is a thing I will never forget, like this, sitting at that table with all of this. At this point, I've written that I also think I kind of decided I won't be going back to school, at least not to radio and TV production. That's not a realistic option for me anymore. And I remember this, I remember figuring this out. And after this, the decision was made, but I had to turn 18 until I could drop out of school without a parent's signature. So as soon as I turned 18, I went and I did drop out of school. But I'm happy that I did realize that this is not a thing that's going to happen at this point in my life. I'm not going to finish this degree first of all because I just cannot. It's not possible. But then also, I don't want to do radio and TV production as a career anymore. So it was just a decision that had to be done. This ended. In the end, all I was really talking about was how inspired I was and motivated I was to return home and to make my home feel more of a safe place. And I was just excited to be able to take care of myself and take care of the apartment again. And that's basically how this journal ends. However, in April, I did have to go back for a week, and I was the one who was put in the like crisis room. I had no rights to go outside myself. And I've written a little bit more about that. And then this kind of turned into like a more of a mental health journal. I'm not gonna go through that right now. This is already too long, but that's basically how it ended. That's all the tea I had. Yeah, I hope this episode was entertaining, mostly entertaining. And then I just want to say my message of like, psych boards are not always bad. Sometimes they are very beneficial, and nobody should be scared to try it out if that situation, if you're in a situation where it feels like a good decision, or sometimes it doesn't. You just have to like see for yourself. But anyway, hi, I'm Rika. I've been hospitalized in psych wards like 10 times, and I'm still here 8 years later. Man, have I done the work. Man, have I gotten far. And thus I did not feel triggered at all actually reading this. So I was fine. I didn't have to worry about anything. But yeah, I am so beyond happy that I have this. That's all documented. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, that was this episode. I do want to do this again with different journals. I think it would be fun if you find it entertaining. Anyway, I hope you're doing great. Feel free to talk to me in the comments. Tell me about how you're doing right now. What's exciting in life? What's going good? What are you grateful for? What are your little joys in life? And I'll catch you next time. Bye.